Oh crap, I'm not even awake yet. Good morning, YouTube and Facebook. Sorry, I just woke up. It's only 4:49 in the morning. And I had an idea to talk about with y'all about Yu-Gi-Oh! Combat. So forget the disorganization. I had to do it this early when I woke up because otherwise I would have lost track of my idea. I know I look like crap, don't I? We're going to talk about a certain thing that is actually quite old. It's actually part of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Basics. It's called combat effectiveness. Or at least that's what I'm going to call it. A lot of people love their synchro summoning, exceed summoning, tribute summoning, stuff like that, right? Understandable. I know because I do it too. Combat effectiveness can actually be more potent than summoning out your most powerfulest monsters. Why? Because it depends on how many monsters you currently have on your field. Let's say I have 2 Alexandrite dragons on my field and I've just cleared out my opponent's field. Right? So he can't counteract attack or whatnot. Okay, at this point, I have polymerization in my hand and I have 2 Alexandrite dragons, which are level 4 dragons, right? I could either synchro summon or exceed summon with those 2 monsters. Synchro. Now, how would I synchro with 2 normal dragons, right? That's very simple. If you've remembered in my dragon video at the beginning of all my other videos, you see that I have First of the Dragon. Or First of the Dragons. He takes 2 normal monsters. His effect is very simple. 1, he can't be destroyed by battle unless it's by a normal monster stronger than he is. He's 2700. And monster effects do not work on him. Now, yes, that would be a good idea. Bring out a high powerful monster. However, the only monsters I'd bring out would have been a 2200 or my 27. Now, why would I do that when I have 2 Alexandrite dragons on my field? And their total attack power together is 4000. This is called perfect effectiveness. If I have face downs and I have my 2 dragons on the field, right? Instead of bringing out a more powerful monster, I would have both of my Alexandrite dragons attack directly. This, if they don't have effect or battle fader in their hand to block my attack, that is pure effectiveness when attacking. Instead of always summoning more powerful monsters, see how the field is played first. See how much more damage you do with monsters you have on field, and then what you could do when you have monsters summoned. If you do this right, half the time you won't even need to synchro summon, fusion summon, or exceed summon. Oh, excuse me. In this way, it's a way to complete the game faster with your monsters instead of trying to speed through the game, unless you like to play with your opponent or like to drag things out. Effective battle conditions can be met with anything, like having a lot of monsters in our field, some with abilities like one of my personal favorites, Mirage Dragon. Now, there's been some talk about this card that it only works during my turn. No, his ability is automatically activated as soon as he hits the field. There is no trigger, therefore you cannot Divine Wrath this card. As soon as he hits my field, if you do not use Trap Hole or Bottomless Trap Hole, his effect is automatically there. As soon as my battle begins or your battle begins, you cannot play trap cards. This is called Restriction Battle. Or at least what I call it. I call it Restriction Battle because your opponent's restricted to not using traps during the battle phase. There's been talk that he has the same effect as Ancient Gear Soldier. Or Ancient Gear Golem. Ancient Gear Golem is very specific with his card. Ancient Gear Golem says when this card attacks, your opponent cannot activate trap cards. Mirage Dragon's effect clearly says During the battle phase, your opponent cannot activate trap cards. This does not mean just my battle phase, it means yours as well. It's still considered the main battle phase. There's also another card that's just like Mirage Dragon. He's actually in my wrong box. Yeah. He's actually in my yugioh deck, Sacred Terror. Come on, come here. He's a Beast Warrior type monster, and I believe he's almost as old as Mirage Dragon. I don't have an older copy because a lot of old cards of mine came out missed it a long time ago. Here we go. Pitch Black Warwolf. Level 4 monster, Dark type, Beast Warrior effect, 1600 attack, 600 defense. Your opponent cannot activate trap cards during the battle phase. See, it says during the battle phase, not during your battle phase. And I'll show you what the card looks like. This is probably a newer version because it's all sparkly and whatnot, but it has the exact same effect as the oldest version. It's just been brought out again. That is the Pitch Black Warwolf. There's his attack and defense. Sorry if you can't see it all properly. I'm still trying to wake up here, people. Well, I've accepted my idea. More battle effectiveness can also work depending on monster in field. A lot of people automatically, as soon as they get good monster on field, they exceed, synchro, or fusion summon. Now, at times, half of the time, yes, this is a really great idea to summon out more powerful monsters that have really good effects. However, if you don't want to drag out your opponent's defeat, if you know you have the upper hand, the best way to do is see what monster in field and see the total amount of damage you could do with what you have than what you would have if you synchroed, or exceed, or fusion. Let's say here. Let's go a few rounds with my dragon deck. Alright. 5, 6. Okay. Summon Alexandrite Dragon. My opponent likes to stall, so we're going to assume he's playing cards to buff up his defense. Then I'm going to draw. See, my last turn, I could have played the Rider of Stormwind's special ability. It allows me to activate it from my hand and equip it to a normal monster on my field. While equipped to the normal monster on my field, it has two really good effects. One, if the monster would be destroyed, this card would be destroyed instead. At least I think so. Let me read it. Hold on. Yeah. You can target one dragon-type normal monster you control. Equip this monster from your hand or your side of the field to that target. If a monster equipped with this card attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing damage to your opponent. If a monster equipped with this card would be destroyed, destroy this card instead. Yes. However, I did find a flaw in this from Millennium Duelist. If I play two of the same card on one monster, it does not double the piercing damage. No. And if the monster will be destroyed by battle or by a card effect, both of the equipped monsters are instantly destroyed instead. Not one, both, because it says so. I did look it up. I learned the hard way, but it is a good way to keep your opponent on his feet. Now, like I said, I could have played this card, but I didn't. Why? It's called thinking of a strategy. See how your opponent reacts to your first playthroughs. And I'm glad I didn't get rid of it because now I'm going to summon it in attack mode. Now I have two options. I could automatically use its ability and equip to Alexandrite Dragon, but that would lessen my fighting force. It'd give me one monster instead of two. Yes, Raider of the Stormwind is only a 500-200. However, there's another possibility. I could synchro summon because it is a level 1 tuner and Alexandrite's a level 4 monster. That would give me a level 5 synchro. However, that is not what I intend to do. That would lessen my fighting forces again. So I am going to banish this monster to special summon the Red Eyes Black Metal Dragon. This increases my fighting force to the two monsters I have on my field. Yes, I lose a monster out of the game, but that is one cost I'm willing to do. The other 4 cards in my hand, you'll find this quite hilarious. Regeki, Fusion Recovery, Silver's Cry, and then finally Trade-In. 4 very good cards if you want to build a style of dragon deck that I have, that I built from scratch. Trust me, it was not easy to build this deck. Alright? Let's say my opponent, because I now have Red Eyes, he's going to start building up his defensive more because I have a powerhouse. Now, this can go many ways. But with my deck, as you remember my 4 spell cards that are currently in my hand that I drew, alright? Yes, there's a lot I can do with this now because I just drew my Blue Eyes White Dragon. I have a Ghost Rare. I have a few of them, okay? Now, if you want the full effectiveness of being able to play almost every card in my hand and summoning Blue Eyes on the field, here's how it's done. First, you play Trade-In, sending Blue Eyes White Dragon to your graveyard to draw 2 new cards. This gives me an increased powerhouse of my hand. Okay, next, you want to... Here's the 2 cards that I drew. Mystic Tree Dragon and Bottomless Trap Hole. Now, I'm going to set Bottomless Trap Hole face down. That is obvious. Now, I can either use Silver's Cry, or I can use my Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon special ability to summon Blue Eyes White Dragon. This is a dilemma sometimes because I get them both mixed up and it messes my strategy. So if you're thinking about what you're going to do, you want to hold on to Silver's Cry for a purpose. Silver's Cry can work during either player's turn because it is a quick play spell card and it works during your battlefield. Let's say if I attack, and let's say I attack with Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon and Alexandra, okay? And then if my opponent has nothing to stop them, I can play Silver's Cry from my hand, bring Blue Eyes from the graveyard, special summon the field, and get another attack. This is maximum effectiveness through combat. However, I'm going to see what my opponent will do. Let's say I play Darkness Dragon's special ability, Summon Blue Eyes, right? I attack and he plays Mirror Force. Oh no, I just lost all 3 of my heavy hitters. Yeah, some people say that's a waste of what I did. Then I play Silver's Cry, bringing Blue Eyes back to the field for his attack. This is not a maximum effectiveness, however, it is a reserved effective. This allows you to be cautious in case your opponent has a card to trump your ability. This is one way you should use a dragon deck. Any deck, really. I have themes for my deck. The only deck I don't have a theme for is my darkness deck. Now we used Red Eye Darkness Metal to bring Blue Eyes to my field. That gives me 3 powerhouse monsters on my field. 2 of them are a normal monster. I could fusion summon, but I don't have polymerization in my hand. I would end my turn. My opponent will play a few cards face down to keep you guessing. Remember, the game is built up in many ways. One part of the game is intimidation. Mind games with your opponent. Like, I could play these 3 face down assuming that I have a powerhouse. Nowadays, you can play a Heavy Storm and all stuff to get rid of them. But it also will keep your opponent guessing until he sees what they are. This will make him doubt or re-guess his moves in case I have a counter card. Anyone does this. A lot of people do this. I do it all the time because if I want to keep my opponent guessing, depending on how he plays, I'll toy with my opponent. That's kind of what I do. Let's say it'd be my turn again. Okay. Now I just do a fantastic card. The card I did for my turn was Mystic Water Dragon. And if you remember, last turn after I played Trade-In, I got Mystic Tree. Why is this so great? You're about to find out. First, I would normal summon Mystic Tree Dragon. Okay? Mystic Water Dragon's ability activates of your choosing. This is a choice activation. It can be a trigger. He can be special summoned to the field if I have an Earth card on my field. In this case, let's see. Yeah, if you control an Earth monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can only special summon Mystic Water Dragon once per turn this way. This means you can only use it once, however, it should be enough. Now I can special summon it in defense mode. I have 5 dragons on my field. Polymerization, boom, 5 got a dragon. No, that is not something you want to do because it lessens your fighting force. What you can do, since you have 5 monsters, is use Mystic Tree Dragon's special ability, since Mystic Waters has already used its. Mystic Tree can target 1 water monster on my field and duplicate that water dragon's or that water monster's level and make his level equal to that water dragon. In this case, a level 8. So that's what we're going to do. And then we're going to exceed summon 2 level 8 monsters. Now, I have a lot of level 8 choices for this type of deck. We have number 46, Dragleon. If you've seen Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal, you know what I mean. Then, our next choice... Oh, that's 3. Our next choice would be number 107, Galaxy Eyes, Tracheon Dragon. Ghost Rare. Our third and final choice, like you've seen in my last video, is beaten up because a lot of people don't take care of their cards. I do. And I got this card because I don't need its name to know what it does. Its ability is readable. But I do know he is considered the Sun Dragon, the Heretic Sun Dragon Overlord. These are my 3 exceed level 8s. Yes, I did have Thunder and Dragon. However, why would I want to summon him to use his ability to destroy my monsters as well? No! That would be lessened effectiveness. Now, for this though, we are going to use Sun Dragon as our exceed summon, because I am about to show you an aggressive way to use his ability. How aggressive? Watch and learn. First, I'm going to activate his ability and give up Water or Earth Dragon, my Mystic Tree Dragon. Now I can give up any number of monster cards in my hand or on my field to activate his destructive ability. So we're going to give up both Alexandrite Dragon and Blue Eyes White Dragon to destroy 2 cards on his field. Okay, why did I do that? Yeah, I took away my effectiveness. However, you're forgetting the 2 cards I have. 1, Red Eyes Darkness Metal, and 2, Silver's Cry. Now, we would activate Red Eye Darkness Metal Dragon's ability to bring back Alexandrite. Okay, then in chain, we will play Miss Silver's Cry to special summon Blue Eyes White Dragon. Voila, maximum effectiveness, because now I can attack with all 4. That is how you play this deck. Let's see, what else? I'm in the mood, I'm starting to wake up. I would draw to begin my turn. Okay, I'm pretty sure by this time my opponent has cards to destroy what I have. Let's say he's summoned a monster that once he ends his turn, he can do some damage, whatnot. But I will play Bottomless Trap Hole. Now the card I just drew was Trap Hole. Yes, I have Trap Hole. A lot of people don't use this card, but it is a massive game changer. Trap Hole and Bottomless Trap Hole work in sync with each other. How? Why? I'll tell you. Well, Bottomless Trap Hole can deal with monsters with 1500 attack or higher. Now, there's a lot of speculation on how a monster has attack powers, right? Let's say you summon a monster like Necromancer, okay? It's a low-level monster, however, he gains 300 for every monster in your graveyard. Now, that can add up pretty fast. So if he hits a field, and let's say he has 1500 attack points, it's when he hits the field. As soon as he hits the field, if I don't negate his summon, he has that power. Then I can play Bottomless Trap Hole and banish him from the game because he has the required attack power. How can I do this? It's simple. It's just like normal summon a monster that automatically has the power. As soon as he summoned, boom, he has his power. Therefore, it's not after he's summoned. It's not during. It's not before his summoning. It's on his summoning. If 1100 monsters summons to the field, and I have a card on the field that increases power for every monster on my field, like Seal of Order Calcos increases all monsters on my field by 500 points. Okay, if I summon a 1000 attacker, as soon as he hits that field, he becomes a 1500. Therefore, I can Bottomless Trap Hole or Trap Hole that monster. This is legit, and this is true facts. Unless the monster can't be destroyed, or it's a summoning, or summoning can't be negated, that won't matter. Bottomless Trap Hole don't negate summoning. Now, since it is my turn, my opponent probably is waiting for me to use some really nasty effects. However, we still have Sun Dragon Overlord's ability, which we will use it again. Yes, I can't bring both monsters back this turn, but why? Okay, I would activate his ability, get rid of Mystic Water to the graveyard, and then give up both Blue Eyes White Dragon and Alexandrite to destroy 2 more cards he possesses if he does not negate this ability. Doing so, I would activate Red Eye Darkness Dragon's ability and bring back Blue Eyes White Dragon. This will give me a total fighting force of 8,800 just between these 3 monsters. So technically last turn I won the duel. With just these 3 and Alexandrite Dragon, that is 10,800. I automatically won that match last turn. But I'm dragging this out to show you how my Dragon deck works properly, if you play your cards right. Now, yes, you can use more Sun Dragon Overlords in your Exceed deck to make this deck more aggressive, but you gotta be careful of the same monster. Having the same monster in its abilities limits how many monsters you can give up. Now, if you have Blue Eyes White Dragon, yeah, but by the time I'm thinking of having 3 Sun Dragons with their abilities on your field, then you have Red Eyes Darkness Metal. It means you're limited to summoning only 1 more monster per turn. This is good. Yes, you can win the turn right after like that, but you got to be careful on how many monsters you give up to do this. You could put yourself at risk. So one Sun Dragon should be more effective than a whole arsenal. The max I would suggest 2, but it is not a requirement for this type of deck. My turn, let's say I let my opponent live 1 more turn. Now, this is where it gets aggressive. I will set 1 card face down. My opponent has an impenetrable defense on the field. Can't be destroyed by battle, can't be targeted by effects. So, we play the key card, Regeki. Since it does not target, it automatically destroys every monster my opponent has. This would really limit his field. You gotta, before you play your cards or attack, you must try to predict what he has on your field. Doing this properly, and you can be one hell of an aggressive player with this type of dragon deck. Remember, the deck I'm using is Blue Light. My Dragon, Blue Eyes White Dragon created deck that I created from scratch. Okay? Let's see. Let's say I drew another card. Now, I'm going to play the card I just drew. By activating Red Eye Darkness Metal Dragon's special ability, I special summon my second Ghost Rare Blue Eyes White Dragon. Now, I have an overwhelming fighting force, but I'm going to get things a little more abusive, because I found out something about one of my monsters. Neo Galaxy Eyes Tachyon Dragon. Wait, hold on. Yeah, number 107 Galaxy Eyes Tachyon Dragon. I learned something very interesting about him. Okay, if you don't know what his ability is, I will tell you. Once per turn, once per battle phase, at the start of your battle phase, yours only, you can detach 1 Exceed material from this card. Negate the effects of all other face-up monsters currently on the field. Also, their attack and defense become their original attack and defense. And if you do any of these during the battle phase, this turn, each time an opponent's card effect resolves, this card gains 1,000 attack until the end phase of the battle. The end of the battle phase. Also, it can attack a second. It can make a second attack during each battle phase this turn. Okay, this means if I activate his ability against my opponent, I'm not only hurting myself in this, but I am hurting my opponent. It affects all face-up monsters on field, including my Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon. And it's not temporary. It is permanent while my monster is on the field. So as long as Red Eye stays on my field, I can no longer use his ability. Tachyon Dragon is good if people are playing with monster-heavy decks with massive effects. That monster-heavy is mainly have more monsters than spells and traps because their monsters have wicked effects. Tachyon Dragon would be good against certain decks like Machines or Madolches. So Tachyon is an aggressive card, but you got to be careful how you play it, because you could basically screw yourself over. However, I'm going to show you a little neat trick. Okay, Sun Dragon's already used his ability, therefore I don't have to worry about his effect. Okay, so I'm going to Exceed Summon number 107 Galaxy Eyes Tachyon Dragon. Okay, now, why would I do this, right? I'll show you. Because on my last turn, I had drew a card that I had set face down. It is a trap card. You're about to find out what it is. Now, I enter my battle phase, okay? My opponent has nothing but face-up monsters. I can't hurt him because of his monster's abilities, right? So, we're going to activate Tachyon Dragon's special ability. Okay, now his ability is activated. He negates all monsters' effects that are on the field. And they can't get their effect back unless they leave the field and come back. Okay, why did I do this when it hurts my Red Eyes Darkness Metal? Well, that's because this is the point of the game where you should not have to worry about his ability. Because, let's say... Oh, wait, that's my hand. I'm going to play my trap card now. Call of the Haunted. You can use this many ways to bring back the cards you tributed or used for Tachyon's ability, or you can wait until you lose the Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon. Doing this, you can play Call of the Haunted, bring Red Eyes back to the field, and use his ability again. However, I won't do that. I will use it to bring back Blue Eyes White Dragon. This gives me a maximum fighting force, so I don't have to worry about my opponent. 3,000, 2,000, 3,000, 2,800, and 3,000. Tell me, is that legit or what? That is maximum power. Okay, remember the card in my hand is Fusion Recovery. Let's see, what was my next card? My next card would have been Maiden with Eyes of Blue. This is a way to do maximum power when you're fighting your opponent instead of automatically synchro, exceed, right? You got to see how your opponent plays. You can't just automatically expect to succeed and get the upper hand, because remember, you do have to deal with cards that would negate summonings or special abilities. This has been another demonstration of my Blue Light Yu-Gi-Oh! Dragon deck builds. And as I said, I built this one from scratch. I didn't look online for this crap, because that stuff I don't do. It is currently 5:17 in the morning, or as I like to put it, let's see, 1700 hours. I think I got that right. It means 1700 hours. I think. I'm tired. Okay, good night.